What if on the date of your marriage and during the marriage ceremony, the supposedly bride changed her mind and would not continue anymore when asked whether she will take you as her husband? Would that person, or can that person file a case against the woman who refused to proceed with the marriage, who suddenly changed her mind? And can he also file damages against that person, against that woman who refused to proceed with the marriage? And of course, he had spent a lot for preparation up to and leading to the failed marriage. That's one of the circumstances we're going to discuss this evening. I'm Attorney Alfonso Roma, your instructor in Criminal Law Book 1. Now, we will proceed on paragraph 4 of the Revised Penal Code, Article 11. The paragraph 4 speaks about state of necessity, and it reads: any person who, in order to avoid an evil or injury, does an act which causes damage to another, provided the following requisites are present. First, the evil sought to be avoided actually exists, and that second, the injury feared be greater than that done to avoid it. Now, the paragraph 4 of the Article 11 of the Revised Penal Code speaks about state of necessity. In order to avoid greater evil, one causes damage to another, or one does an act which causes damage to another. Now, in my example as a while ago, it's a classic case of a failed marriage. The bride did not proceed, did not go with the marriage, and so the the male sued the woman for not proceeding with the marriage. The the provision of Article 11, paragraph 4 was applied by the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court reasoned out that there was actually a greater evil to be avoided, or sought to be avoided by the woman, and that is entering into a loveless marriage. So what she avoided was a greater evil, and that avoidance causes damage to another, and that's the classic example of Article 11, paragraph 4 of the Revised Penal Code. It it's again, it speaks about state of necessity, the avoidance of greater evil. There was, as the element was provided under these provisions, the evil sought to be avoided actually exists, and the injury feared be greater than done to avoid it. So not proceeding with the marriage is much lesser than going into the marriage with being miserable for the rest of the woman's life. So that's the lesson out of the Supreme Court. Another example is when you're about to when you are about to meet an accident. Say for example, you're about to your car you your car that you being driven is about to jump off the cliff. So in order to avoid that unfortunate accident, you suddenly change its direction thereby causing to hit a pedestrian or a innocent person on the side of the other side of the street. The evil so to be avoided was actually your the person's death, the driver's death, if he will not change direction almost immediately. And then, of course, in his perspective, the greater evil is the driver's death, and the lesser evil or the injury, the lesser injury would cause someone else to be bumped by a car, by his car being driven. Another classic example under paragraph 4 of the revised penal code, and the state of necessity is in case of uh, choosing between the life of the mother and the child. Now, there's deal you would you would think about the 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 life of the mother and the life of the child is equally important, but in times where there should be a choice between the life of the mother and the life of the child, going to the life of the mother may be justified, in some extreme cases, only for the purpose of saving the mother's life. That's another example of state of necessity under paragraph 4 of the revised penal code. We're going to compliance with duty or exercise of the right. Now, this classic example of compliance with the duty is, well, if you are a police officer, compliance of the duty is when you have the order to arrest the accused with a warrant, you execute the warrant, the accused or the person so to be arrested resisted or provide or gave dangerous response to your action, you are justified to contain him, to arrest him, to make actions or act which is necessary to enforce your duty, to comply with your duty to arrest the accused. And if so doing, if you were will able to inflict injury to him, and if you're following your duty, your act may be justifiable. If you have questions, you can always ask on comment sections, and I will gladly answer both those questions. That is compliance with the duty or exercise of a right. Now, the person, the owner of a property, has the right to exclude other who does not own the property, who is a stranger to the property, who is an outsider without consent. The person or the owner of the property can use necessary force to exclude others of his property, because as a property owner you have the right to use the property as you may fit, as you may, whatever you may think about using your property. And you can exclude others, you can use force necessary to exclude others from getting into your property or protecting your property rights, and that is a the right given to you under the constitution, under the civil law. You have the right to enjoy the property and to exclude others from enjoyment of property, and that is under paragraph 4, paragraph 5 of the revised penal code, article 11. That's compliance with the duty or exercise of the right. And lastly, we have obedience to the order. The order, this is easy to understand. There is an order, you comply with the order, you believe that the order is lawful, or at least lawful. You at least you honestly believe that the order is lawful, like setting up a checkpoint in cases of men in uniform or police officers. Obedience to the local order, like a mission order or order of arrest. Now, if you comply with the lawful order, you are justified in acting on those compliance on compliance of the order. Now, if the order in itself is unlawful, say for example, you are a first level police officer and you are commanded by your chief of police in the station to, say for example, someone shoot someone because he is a suspected, maybe suspected drug dealer, or suspected criminal, or known troublesome in the community or in the society where the police station is located. Would you be justified, and would you be cleared from any liability if you will comply? Can you say you just following orders from your superior or from the chief of police? Of course not. Compliance to the lawful order supposedly mean that you should comply only lawful orders, or in your part you are in honest belief that what you are complying is a lawful order. Now, killing someone without just any reason at all, or because your superior commanded you to do so, is not a lawful order. You are justified in killing someone if you are at risk in your own self, if you are doing your duty as a police officer. But if someone will tell you to murder another person because he is troublesome, because for any other reason that is not provided by law, because by commanding by commanding to have someone killed is in itself unlawful. So you cannot say that you just following orders, because the order itself is unlawful. You cannot justify the act because you yourself can distinguish what is lawful and what is not lawful order. And those obvious unlawful orders that you comply will not absolve you from the liability that will attach to your actions. And I think that was it for justifying circumstance. We will continue on exempting circumstance next time. Thank you and good night.